Welcome to Horror Movies and Beyond, a show about reviewing horror movies for the living to understand the dead. And I'm your host, Ivotres Littles, and I have a really awesome special guest, Brinke Stevens. She played Linda in 1980 slasher movie, The Slumber Party Massacre, and I'm glad to have her today. Hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, and I'm so excited. We're showing the movie on Friday, April 22nd, and
Mhm.
I'm really looking forward to seeing it again after 40 years.
It doesn't seem, you know what? It doesn't seem that long. Like time has passed, but I actually ended up watching it 3 times when I was very young and a few months back. And then recently last night, and I was like, man, it still holds up.
Yes, yes. It's amazing to me. It's been 40 years. And this is like the little movie that could. Nobody thought it was anything. But it was different because even though it came at the end of the slasher era,
Mhm.
I think they shot it in 1981, it was written by a woman, a known feminist, Rita Mae Brown. It was
Right.
directed by a woman, Amy Jones. And in it, the women survive and best the killer. So it was considered the first feminist slasher movie, even though I'm not really sure that's what we set out to create. That's how people perceived it.
Oh. Oh, that is really cool. It makes it even more special because it was like there's a bunch of women in it. A bunch of women made it. So it's just like perfect in its own little
Yeah,
way.
yeah, exactly. I love that movie, and there's humor in it too. You know, like
Yeah.
the pizza boy Aaron was I think the first or second AD on the movie, and he went on later to direct Supernatural up in
Oh.
Oregon. But he was so funny. He also played the pizza boy, and there's a really funny thing there. And I love all the humor in it.
So, for those who may not know, the Slumber Party Massacre is one of those slash movies that stand the test of time. It's like a cult classic. You have to see it. If you enjoy horror movies, love them, collect them, whatever, this is one of those you have to have in your collection and you have to have seen it like multiple times. It's so
Mm.
awesome. Uh, but the story goes, it's like okay, these high school seniors who gather at her friend's slumber party, but unaware that an escaped power drill wielding killer is on the loose in the neighborhood. How cool is that?
It is. This was my first feature film that I ever did. I had just come to Hollywood, and there
Oh,
was a magazine at the time called Dramalog, and they had an ad that said, "Wanted a dozen pretty girls to get naked and die horribly." So I responded, and I got hired. And I was hired for one of the lead roles, but I had a scheduling conflict with a modeling shoot in Lake Tahoe, so they had to kill me off quickly. And I worked about a
mm.
week on it. I played Linda. I was victim number 2 out of 17, and was killed by a maniac with an electric drill in the girls' locker room.
But you know what I really liked about this film, because back then a lot of the films that came out around that time, you saw who the killer was. It was like how they were going to kill, like how
Mhm.
were they going to get the victims. That's what's so cool about it. There was no hiding it. It was just enjoy the ride.
Yes, exactly. Well, and we loved Michael Villella, who played Russ Thorne, was
Mhm.
so into his role. He was such a method actor that he would sit apart from us during lunch, and he would skulk in the bushes and give us the evil eye, and we were all afraid of him. And he'd sit there during breaks stroking his electric drill. And
What?
I said, "What is he doing?" And they said, "Oh, he's a method actor."
Oh wow! So he stayed in
Character,
character.
yes, he wanted to stay in character. He wouldn't socialize with us. And later, we were at Cinema Wasteland convention and giving a talk, and he said that he had patterned his head movements on a peacock. That a peacock goes
Hmm.
like that, and that's what he styled himself on, the way he turns his head and stuff. I thought that was so interesting.
That is interesting. That's also creepy too. It's like you're sitting there and you're like on a break and then you turn and he's you're
Yeah,
like,
he's in the bushes.
oh my gosh, that was like, how did you guys handle that? How did you handle that? Like, even though you knew he was a method actor, but seeing him do things like that when it's like cut, I mean, how freaky was that?
It was, but like I said, it was my first movie, and it was
Oh.
the first time that I died and screamed. You know,
Hmm.
so it was really a beginning thing for me. And you never see my death on camera. So they took
Hmm.
me out to the parking lot with a tape recorder, and I screamed over and over again for 45 minutes until they finally felt they had the perfect scream that would tell the story of my death without seeing it. And I'm amazed nobody called the police. But they did get the perfect scream. And then later, I would dub other actresses' screams. Yeah,
Really?
yeah, I became known as like the best scream in Hollywood. So I dubbed Linda Fiorentino in Acting on Impulse. I dubbed Vicki Lawrence on her Halloween show. I was
Oh,
dubbing,
wow.
yeah, a lot. I dubbed a lot of people's screams.
Do you know if that scream is still being used today? Like
No,
throughout? Do
yeah,
you know?
probably not, but I imagine
Oh.
a lot of people sampled it.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, I wonder, like, Now when I'm watching other movies, I'm gonna listen. Like, wait, I wonder, are they doing that? Because they do like reuse a lot of things from way back. You never
Yeah.
know. You might be watching a movie and be like, wait a minute, that's me.
That's me. Yeah, yeah. Well, and it's funny because we were soon dubbed Scream Queens, me, Linnea Quigley, Michelle Bauer, in the 1980s, and it really is kind of true. And I sort of resented that title at first because I was an actress, and
Mhm.
maybe sometimes a horror actress, but a Scream Queen really pigeonholes you, and holds you in a certain space. And but it's true, we really were Scream Queens.
Where you were amazing scream queen.
Thank you.
So this film will be showing at Shock a Go Go Film Festival this Friday, April 22nd.
Hmm.
So that's pretty cool, along with other films as well that will be showing there. So, are you going to be there
Yes,
at the
yes.
theater? Oh, oh.
I would not miss this night of movie madness, starting at 5 o'clock, and this is at the
Mm,
Art House Theater in Long Beach on 4th Street. Starting at 5, there'll be a bunch of excellent short films. I know some of the filmmakers, and I've seen some of the films. They're really fun.
mm,
And then Slumber Party Massacre will screen at 7 p.m. And my co-star Deborah DeLiso and I will both be there. Maybe
mhm,
we'll do a Q&A. Um,
mhm.
and we will have a table in the lobby. We'll be signing Slumber Party Massacre photos if anybody wants a souvenir. And then following that, there's going to be two more feature films,
Mhm.
The Diner and The Gracie Strangler, and they both have live people associated with them who made the movies. So it'll be quite a night. All that for $15. You can't beat that.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, that is really, really cool. So what is your most memorable moment when you were in the slumber party? Because even though you were the second kill, but when you watch it, it didn't feel like you feel like you were like your presence was there even after you were gone. Because
Thank
it
you.
does leave you wondering what happened to you. Like
Yes.
even
And
after I was like, did she? No.
yeah,
Did
I
you
know.
never?
Well, yeah, you never see my death. And then when I heard they were making Slumber Party Massacre 2, I called them up and said, "Hey, can I be in it?" And they said, "Brink, you're dead." But Jim Wynorski went on to make Cheerleader Massacre, which was unofficially Slumber Party Massacre 4. And my
Mhm,
character was Linda, and she was still alive. And, she'd been wounded on the arm, but had survived the ordeal in
mhm,
his version of it. So I thought that was fun that one filmmaker brought it back. But yeah, the fact that I had never expressed terror like that before,
mhm,
and where does that come from? I mean, I had been a scientist before I became an actress, and I've never experienced being stalked by a maniac or running for my life and screaming. So
mhm,
it just comes from somewhere inside you. And back then, it was before video. So
mhm,
the films played in theaters, and I saw it on the big screen in a theater, and I'm like, wow, I really can act. I'm going to
mhm.
pursue this until I can find a science job. And I never did find a science job in Los Angeles, so I kept being an actress.
When I tell a lot of people because I watched a lot of films from the 80s, And I would tell a lot of these films that you're on VHS now were in the theater. And it was like,
Hmm.
no way. I've seen Ghoulies in the theater. I've seen Critters. And people think, oh no, those wouldn't make it to the theater. No, they made theaters
Hmm.
specifically for a lot of horror films. I mean,
Hmm.
people just don't get it.
Yeah, I've seen so much change in the way that films are presented. Like, first, all my films played in theaters. Slave
Mhm.
Girls from Beyond Infinity, 1987, played in theaters. That was kind of the last one. Then the video revolution hit. First, it was VHS, Beta,
Mhm.
Laserdisc, DVDs, and now it's all streaming. And
Mhm.
it's very hard for me to get copies of my movies now on DVDs because they go directly to streaming now.
Mhm. Well, if anyone wants to watch this movie, Slumber Party Massacre, you could definitely find it on Shudder.
Mm.
Shudder has brought back a lot of these films, so you,
Mhm.
you definitely can find it and enjoy it. And the official date for the 40th anniversary is on September, but we're celebrating it all year long
Mm.
because this is
Yes.
the 40th year, and I cannot believe it.
Yeah, I
It
know.
doesn't, I swear, it does not feel like that. I mean, I don't know what they did or what kind of film they were using, but it's still, it's not grainy and gross. You like, because some films they bring back are just not right. You could
Yeah.
see everything clear as day. It just holds out. It's not, I don't know, I can't explain it. It's just a
Mhm.
wonderful good, it seems well thought. Like,
Yeah.
when they wrote it, they knew what they were doing. The
Mhm.
humor, the timing, the kills, and the casting. I mean, that is just amazing. They got you. Oh
Yeah.
wow.
I know, right off the boat practically. One of the things I liked about the movie was, there were a lot of little happy accidents.
Mhm.
For example, on the wall, there's was a flyer on the wall already when we went to shoot at this high school that says "Emergency Drill Instructions." We saw that and just laughed, like, how did they know?
Oh man. And one thing about your scene that was, I think, more terrifying than the driller killer actually getting to you is you trying to get out
Mhm.
of the I'm like, who locks up a school like this?
Right. Yes,
I mean,
yes.
everywhere you were trying to get out. Now, was it really locked up, or like how, or was it at a school, right? When you guys
Yeah, we
were
shot at a school in Mar Vista, which is near Venice, and um, we had it all to ourselves. It must have been summer vacation or something. I don't know why we had the
Oh,
school,
okay.
or maybe the school had been closed,
Mhm.
condemned. Sometimes that happens.
You were actually in a closet. It wasn't like they built one part and we see you underneath there.
Yeah, it was what was
It
really
was an
there.
actual closet.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Movie magic.
Yeah, and when we auditioned for the movie for Amy Jones, the director, she made it clear that there was going to be nudity. So there was a shower scene, which was kind of obligatory, and people had to agree to do nudity. And that was the first time I'd ever done nudity on film. So I was pretty amazed at that. And they start with my butt, which is probably my best feature. So,
Oh, that was really you. That wasn't a
yeah.
body double.
No, no, nobody had
Oh.
body doubles. Although some of the girls that had agreed to do nudity at the audition, when it came time to shoot, they put black tape across their nipples so that they couldn't be shown on camera. The director was really angry that they had agreed to do something and then when the time came, they wouldn't do it, which I don't think is fair. You shouldn't say that if you're not intending to do it. But
Mm.
it turned out all right anyway.
Oh, okay. Wow. I mean, the film still holds up. So if definitely you have to see that. If you please go out to the Art Theater in Long Beach. They will be showing this as well as other films. It's the Shock a Go Go Film Festival. It is going to be pretty awesome. They're going to have, she's going to be there. You got to make sure you see her and Deborah.
Yeah,
Get some signed pictures, because
exactly.
they're
Thank you.
she's beautiful. They're both beautiful. It is just something to have, and make sure you find this, put in your collection, and if you can't go, watch it on Shutter, but
Mm.
try to
Mhm.
go. They're there.
Yes, and if anyone needs more information, just go to shockagogo.com.
And I would definitely put all that information so they
Okay.
will have all of that. Get the tickets, get what you can. She's going to be there. Meet her. Everybody else and have a great time. This will be in Long Beach, my hometown. I one day I will meet and see you. I will.
Okay.
I know I will.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for doing this. This is just a blast, and I just can't believe I'm talking to you.
Oh, thank you.
She was part of my child. Now, I mean, I it didn't click until I started looking at all the stuff you did. I was like, this woman has been in my life, my whole life, in all the films that I've been looking at, and just like you, period. So that's thank you.
I've left my mark. My life hasn't been wasted.
Never, never. Well,
All right.
so thank you guys for watching. If you like more videos like this, please like, subscribe, and don't forget to comment and make sure you follow her. I will put all this stuff below in the comment section on YouTube, as well as the information to get tickets to check this out. So, but thank you once again.
My pleasure, and I hope to see all of you guys watching down at the Art Theater in Long Beach on Friday the 22nd. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much.